In fact, there we go. There's the whole idea. Let's start with a process map. In this particular case, we have our power supply from a switchboard, and there's a power cable running to an electric motor that drives a coupling through the bearing housings of the wet end to a wet end of a pump. So this is a pump set with a power supply. And that's all it's meant to be. And then of course I say, well, the power supply box, what's the process in that box? And so I break it out again. Electric motor, what's the process in the electric motor? So I break it out again. So I can keep pulling things apart right down eventually to the individual part numbers if I want to go that far. Now of course once I've got that layout, I can say, if the brushes fail, what's the impact? Does that matter if the brushes fail on this motor, on this pump, to this company? If the answer is no, I don't care if the brushes fail, we've got a standby unit. Great. I'm not going to do much work on that one there. But if this is the only motor they've got, and the only pump they've got, and the only process that makes money in the business, vital stuff to know. Hey, I've got to make sure we have no brush failures. I've got to make sure I have no stator failures. You know? So this makes very clear, where are the risks to this company in this situation today? And can we live with those? And if we can live with those, great, live with them. If you can't live with them, what are you doing about it? Let's design a process to ensure that they do not get caught out. And so PW is, everything hangs off this analysis. So I've got to talk about what can fail brushes, what can fail rotors. And a rotor in a motor, dozens of ways to fail. Now, will all those dozens of ways happen in this motor, in this company? Probably not. Maybe only half a dozen of those dozens of ways. Or it could be a dozen of the dozens of ways. I don't know. The analysis is to understand this company, the way we operate, the way we maintain, the supplier of our equipment, the way they design that item, what's the risks of all those things coming together in an unknown way on a rotten day and the luck goes against us. So I'm being a bit pessimistic here. I'm going to start with the worst case scenario because the worst case scenario could happen. Probably won't. It's unlikely to have real bad things happen, but every now and again they do. So I want to understand how bad it could be if it's the worst case, and then from the worst case begin putting in the right techniques and methods and strategies and procedures to take that risk lower and lower and lower. Then as I build this documentation up, which is the scripted way to run the movie, and this is going to be written up how exactly to run this machine and run this process to have very few problems, then that's the script, guys. This is what we've got to learn and practice and become very good at doing and delivering. And to me, it's very much like making a movie. It isn't much harder than that in this concept.